Hi everybody, Sandy Boucher here. I just got home from a writer's workshop and I had a teaching, a revelation come to me, and I just had to share it with you. So this is my message for tonight. As you know, I'm a writer. I've been writing for the Native Canadian, a paper out of Toronto, for approximately 2 years now, and my book, Honorary Indian, is about to be released on December 21st of this year. Now, even though I very much consider myself a writer, I'm not egotistical enough to think that there isn't anything else I can learn. So, I saw a notice that there was going to be a writer's workshop in my area tonight, and I decided to check it out because I hadn't attended that type of gathering before. And on top of that, the chance to meet other writers who could understand the way I look at the world, well, that was just too appealing to pass up on. So off I went. I sat in the workshop and the speaker began to deliver his message. The first thing I noticed was his vocabulary. He used what my mother would call a lot of $15 words. Some, I can honestly admit, I had no clue what they meant. And I consider myself a very intelligent and fairly educated woman. I know I'm intelligent. I have the IQ score to prove it. I just don't feel the need to use $15 words. I don't feel the need to advertise my intelligence. And I would hate to ever make someone feel less by the words I use. So as I sat there tonight and listened to his speech, I kept an open mind and I wrote some notes because he did have some very valuable points and, hints that I could use in future writings. But as he talked and used his $15 words, I kept thinking back to the workshop I did last week and all the amazing women from the First Nations that don't have a fancy vocabulary, but have wisdom that I couldn't even describe. As I sat there, I grew nervous. And I've had that happen before when I'm spending time with very articulate, educated people. I began to fear that I would begin to talk that way and that I would no longer be able to reach the men and women that matter to me the most. And I'm not talking just the First Nations people. I'm talking average, everyday people who I don't want them to have to stop and think about what some word I used meant. And I realize that every now and then I can use a $10 word. I try not to use $15 words. And that's okay, I guess. I try to keep it to a minimum. I try to stay real. But tonight, as I sat in that workshop, I grew fearful that I would lose the person I was or the writing style I have by attending these workshops. And then the writer was illustrating different examples, different writers to illustrate the point he was making. And he put up an excerpt from a speech by Zadie Smith. The speech excerpt he used was a speech where she was very saddened by the fact that she didn't talk the way she did, the way she used to in her hometown, that she had gone off and become educated and now spoke Oxford English because she felt that's how educated, successful people sounded. And that's how they should sound. And she didn't feel she had a choice. At one point in the excerpt, it says that a braver person might have said no and held on to the way they spoke. But she didn't. And she was now saddened by that. As I sat in the audience and listened to the speaker explain this excerpt, I could feel the smile creeping onto my face. And when they broke for coffee, I politely put my coat on and left the auditorium. I had my answer, and as I walked down the street, I thanked the Creator for the not-so-subtle reassurance that I didn't need to be there, that I can learn and I can definitely become a better writer, but I didn't need to lose my voice in the way I speak, because it works just fine for the people I want to speak to. If nothing else, my friend, be authentic. Be yourself. The people that matter, that's what they want you to be. And I pray that's happy. Remember, you can be yourself and be happy. No one should ever choose to be unhappy by choice. Thinking of you, having an amazing day, hoping you can say the same. I'm going to go back out, see what else I can learn. The day's not over yet, and I got a lot of living to do. Have an amazing night. Bye-bye.